Hey, some friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Symptomistic, like optimistic, but make it Sims. And this is another episode of Barbie Generation 1, Episode 8. And this is the finale. Like, listen, I know we're looking at baby Ken here, or toddler Ken, because I'm aging them up. And you're like, how is this the finale? This episode is going to have a lot in it, some adorableness, but ultimately, no matter how adorable these toddler Sims are, the story is not about them. And if you know from the previous episodes, the teens are almost ready to be adults. Barbie Gen 1 has achieved many of her goals. And yeah, it's about that time to move on. But of course, I want to show some cuteness first, so that's what we're doing. And it is around Winterfest time. We have this awkward moment here between what is it, Father Claus? What, I don't remember the sim name. Father Winterfest, whatever. That was like an awkward moment between him and Cameron. And if you don't know these sims, please look at the description for the playlist. There's a whole Barbie challenge, but the way I do my challenges, I always like to do really in-depth storylines, and of course that takes a little longer, but surprisingly we're done with this generation on episode 8. Like, I can't even believe that. Like, I think a lot of it is because like I play off camera, because like the repetitive stuff I don't really show that. And so I have been spending a lot of time like playing the game and trying to get through it. But yeah, only 8 episodes. And I figured, why not actually go to high school? Now, I never have my Sims go to high school. Like, I could care less. I feel like there's so much built into the game that it's hard to make like storylines with high school. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but like if you go to the high school, it's just like, you take notes, you are in the cafeteria, you talk to the principal, which these Sims are doing because I'm just trying to check this off their list. Also, they look really cute in their little outfits. Uh, and so you just kind of go through the motions, but I never played high school in the save file, so I just wanted to see what it looked like, and I thought it looks really cute. And so, yeah, if you want to know where I got this from, ask me in the comments. So that was just like a fun snippet of their day. Now, Nicki has been always been into games. Nicki is the sister of Barbie second generation. By the way, I remember the comment, Roxy left the comment that is like so confusing with the two Barbies. So I will be changing Barbie's name. And I think it'll fit with her personality. Second generation Barbie. I will be changing her name. And all future generations, if we make it that far, will have different names because it is confusing. And I don't want you all to be confused about what's going on in my game. So there's that. Cameron is burnt out again. He gets burnt out all the freaking time because he's carrying this household financially, and that's hard. It's 6 Sims. The girls have jobs now that they're teens, which has been helpful. Like, they're not in debt. If you have been watching this challenge from the beginning, you know there has been a lot of debt in this family, and like taking out loans to pay other loans. It's really been a struggle, and that has made the second generation pretty bitter about the situation. And yeah, she has, I think it's changed her outlook on money. She is probably a little materialistic. She is not for this like one income household situation. Like, she just doesn't like any of this. She didn't get to do a lot of things that her classmates got to do. You guys know the whole story. And she's like taken to that experience very different than Nicki, who is more like comfortable in this life in a way that uh Barbie, the second generation, isn't. But I want to bring it back to Barbie Generation 1 because this is her finale. This is probably not the last time we'll see her because she is the legacy here, and I'm sure we'll see her other times. But I just wanted to take a moment to talk about like how much Barbie has accomplished. To her, her life is great. She's very proud of her family, how much she's put into her kids and her husband, and she thinks they're all very successful, and therefore she thinks that she is very successful. She's working off some of this weight. She's getting back into her exercise as like all the kids have gone to school, and they just really take a lot less time for her, and she can keep the house up how she wants, do some of her knitting and gardening and just get back to doing more things for herself, but still, taking care of the family, still cooking and cleaning and doing all of that. And going on side missions to outer space. Now, this will be like a fun fact that, Barbie will have always, that she randomly went to the moon, which is pretty cool and a random experience. And I think these are the type of things that in some ways it probably would have been better if she shared it with her kids, because her kids kind of look at her like, this is all she does, if she doesn't have any other interests. And that, if they're like her, they won't have any other interests. So this would have been a nice story to tell the kids, but she didn't. She just kept it to herself, that she had this random experience when a friend invited her to this festival. So yeah, that's the end of that. Maybe one day this excursion will inspire future generations to do something similar, because I definitely haven't played that astronaut gameplay in a long time. And oh, by the way, there was a fire. And Barbie and Barbie Jr. had to put it out. So everybody else was just kind of running around the house crazy. I don't even know what was made. Of course, this family is probably in a better position to have this fire because they can actually like replace these items and still pay their bills. So that's great. I think Nicki might have been cooking. I could be wrong, but I think Nicki might have been cooking and just didn't really have the experience. And, things went left, but it seems like everyone's good. Everyone's hanging outside. I do not know what that flashy glitch is and why that happens with this house, and I do not want to bother to fix it. But yeah, they survived the fire. Luckily, it only burned the stove and not the rest of the kitchen. I wanted to share that Cameron made detective. I think this is a great moment in his career. I think he's feeling really good about himself in the same way that Barbie Sr. is feeling very good about herself and very successful, and like they've really done a great job, which is great because they're in their adult years, like they're solidly, I think, middle aged at this point. And Cameron has gone through some job loss with this is his second career. He's also had to manage some side hustles, and he's been involved with his kids and just managing all of that. And what is a hard career with a lot of hours and very easy burnout, he's just really proud of what he's done. One thing that's kind of sad is this outside space has been used very little in this gameplay. Barbie Jr. is currently sitting out here doing some homework, but they haven't used it to like have a lot of fun and a lot of different things going on. They haven't used it for that, and that's been kind of disappointing. Oh, also, it is time for Nicki to get a job. Lots of jumping around here. I apologize, but I'm trying to wrap this story up. Nicki has a job. She works fast food, so both Nicki and Barbie Jr. have jobs now because the family needs money. But I also want to show you the friends from high school getting together and just having some social bonding activity. This whole party actually isn't that interesting. This kickback isn't that interesting. But the reason I wanted to share it was because I think Barbie Jr. is very impressed by this house, and she is inspired. She's gotten to do so few things in life as a kid, and she didn't even really go to her friends. Her mom really cared about grades. They didn't always have money to drive her there. She's gotten more independence because she has like a little money to herself, but she really also has been grinding and going to school and working, so there's only so much she could do. And this is like her first time being at a really nice house, even though her house is nice. I think it's nice, but to her it's kind of just all she knows. And so she does spend most of the kickback kind of like looking around and admiring like how much space this family has and like how clean their house is, and like just a different lifestyle that she hopes to one day have. Here we are a few days later, and it is spring fest. So we've gone from winter to spring in this one episode, and we are here celebrating Spring Fest. Now the twins have the older twins, sorry, there's two twins. The girl twins have never gotten to do this. They've never gotten to go over to, this is in Willow Creek. If you want to know the lot after watching it, I can always link it. But they have never gotten to go to this park and chill here with the Spring Fest bunny or whatever this bunny is called. And again, I think Barbie Jr. is kind of bitter about this. Nicki is just like, whatever. It's nice that her little brothers get to have this experience. So the little brothers, Ken and Alan, if you are new here, are definitely like experiencing a nicer lifestyle than, oh, I shouldn't say nicer, a lifestyle with more options and more experiences than their sisters have. But at least, you know, they get to go even though they're teens. They didn't get it when they were younger, but it is nice to be in this park. It's a nice day out. You know, it looks like Nicki is enjoying this. Like, she is not worried. She's having the time of her life with this bunny, and she is cracking up, which is really funny. And I think they're gonna like chat. They're probably gonna eat some grilled food, even though it's not that warm out. It's not freezing, but you know, I guess it's a decent day. They're all dressed pretty appropriately. Like, they don't have on like shorts or anything, so I think they're fine. But yeah, they had a great time at that park. And back to our regular scheduled programming with the kids at school and Barbie going for her jog. It looks like Ken played a prank at school. And so the boys also have to reach their like childhood milestone that is part of the challenge for this generation. And so that was part of Ken's milestones. I don't really remember exactly what they were, but you know, we're just churning them out. Like, I don't really have any attachment to Ken and Alan at this moment. But, you know, Ken seems to be a little prankster. He seems to be a little mischievous. And, you know, we'll see what he's like when he grows up. But Nicki seems to have graduated early, which I've actually never had happen to a sim. So I was like, oh, what is this about? So congratulations to Nicki for graduating early. She I think her and Barbie Jr. have like a little bit of a competition. Like, they're always trying to outdo each other. So I do think Barbie Jr. is a little like, how come she gets to graduate early? Like, we both have A's. Hopefully that's coming to Barbie Jr. soon. But yeah, Nicki Jr. can graduate early, which means she has the opportunity to go to university early and apply to things early, or just chill, or just start her life earlier. So congratulations to Nicki. So Nicki and Barbie Sr. are just having a conversation in the kitchen about how proud Barbie is of Nicki and her graduating early. And she's just really excited for her to start her life. Boy, if you don't look for the toy, because we don't have all this money for you to be losing toys. But yeah, just how proud of her she is, and she knows that she will have a great future, and how thankful she is to Nicki, because Nicki has always been like really helpful around the house, and just doing that and doing what's asked of her has been really great. Interesting. So Alan feels some sort of way about his dad working a lot. That's interesting. I don't know how that'll play out, but oh, Barbie is an adult now, so Barbie Jr., a young adult, not an adult. Gotta remember that. But she is an adult now, so I guess not really graduating early. I guess that's not in the cards for her. But you know, it's time to get that aspiration of being fabulously wealthy, because that will be the core of the gameplay for the next the next series for Generation 2. And if you know my gameplay style, you know I always update the reward traits as they get older. I feel like Barbie probably doesn't sweat that much. Barbie Jr. doesn't sweat that much. She is used to working out. She's very comfortable with that. So I'm giving her some of those traits. She's already pretty observant, so she doesn't need that. I'm gonna make her crabs immune because I think the next series, Generation 2, is gonna be a lot more a lot more, how do I say it? Slightly less family oriented. It's YouTube still, but like she's gonna be living her single life, and yeah, that's what's gonna happen with her. An important milestone in my storyline, not necessarily in the legacy, but is to pay off this debt. So Cameron has officially paid off his loan. If you're new here, he had a loan. He also had a loan in Nicki's name. Nicki's was paid off first. Nicki really took that for the family. And unfortunately, it's kind of like bittersweet timing because now Nicki is applying to school. She got some scholarships, but there will be a cost for her to go to school. So it's kind of like one thing goes and one doesn't. So hopefully they have enough because I don't think Nicki wants to take on that debt. And Nicki is going to school for computer science. She's always been really into computers, so this feels like a fitting choice for her. She will stay here in the house and continue to help out with the boys, Ken and Alan, and just help out with the family and just stay close. Maybe she'll get her own place. She's not really pressed about leaving home, to be honest. Like, she could care less. But she's excited to get the opportunity to go to school and like learn about something that she's interested in. So come on, let's see what these prices are looking like. So yeah, so I think I have a mod in my game that makes university a little more expensive too, just because I live in the US of A and school is expensive here. So I wanted it to fit that. And yeah, they still need to take some of their money and spend it on Nicki's school. Luckily they have it, but their household bills are like $4,000 or $5,000. Sorry, 4 or 5 simoleons. And they will need to make sure, like, so it's going to take half of their money. They're going to need to earn that money back. But I think they can do it. So, we're going to send Nicki off to school. Now, this is really a throwback to early episode 1, 2, when uh, Barbie and Cameron took the girls to the library. And we're going back to that same library because uh, Alan has a skill that he needs to develop. I think it's his mental skill. Oh, he needs to make little potions on this science thing, and they don't have that. They can't afford that at this time. So, we're going back to the library. I really like this library. I think it's so cute with this like faux grass area. I think it's really cute. And yeah, we are going back to this. I will say, I personally, Barbie, what? Oh, so Barbie, funny thing about this, Barbie randomly, this was like autonomously, wants to buy a goat or a sheep or, one of these little animals. I think we're going to get a mini sheep. But this was autonomous. But when she did this, I remembered that this is part of the challenge for her to have a pet. And I probably would have like skated over this if I did not have this happen. So thank you, Sims Autonomy, for furthering my challenge. So yeah, she's going to order a sheep and we'll figure that out when we get home. But I was gonna say, I'm happy to kind of wrap up this series. I feel like I've been playing it so long, maybe because I had to play so much off camera and then I had like other things going on. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit over it. We are back home and our mini sheep has been delivered to us. I feel like this is so random for her to have this little sheep here in, what is this, Newcrest? I think they live it. Yeah, in Newcrest. It feels very random, but also fun because they do have outdoor space. The sheep is pretty small, and I guess it's a mini sheep, so I don't think it's gonna grow big. Well, I don't know, but we'll probably wrap up this challenge before it grows big. But I think this is kind of like a fun thing for Barbie to do. I feel like her life has just been so simple and so much about her family. And like she hasn't really had any like quirkiness or anything random about her. And so I feel like this is like a nice way for her to do that, especially as she's getting older. You know, the boys will grow up. I don't think they'll have any more children, or I hope not, because doesn't that mean I have to continue the challenge? Yeah. So I think if I can help it, they're done with children because I am excited to get out of this household. Something else I realized I hadn't done, which doesn't have much to do with the challenge, but I didn't finish putting pictures up. Like, I just feel like this household got so hectic. And I guess I could have slowed it down by doing these things. Maybe lesson learned for the next part of the challenge is to kind of just like slow it down. But I think I got to such a point where I was like, I want to hurry up and like do all the things that need to be done. Uh, because I'm tired of playing with the same sim, and I felt like they had to stay in the same household because they couldn't afford a lot. I wanted to stay true to the story. I didn't want her to work. Like I know a lot of other uh LPs like this, like the Barbie works. And the challenge doesn't say not to work, but I feel like, you know, that's part of the gameplay a little bit. So I kind of locked myself in just for my storyline. So I also felt like that would encourage me to keep going and move on. Like, it's really hard to, I don't know how people do these like 10 legacy challenges where they have so many generations. I have yet to get past like starting a third generation. So I was hoping with this challenge I would really be encouraged to move on to the other parts. And I think that's why sometimes I just didn't get lost in the storyline. So hopefully I can do more of that. But so we have some bad news here. I don't even know what to say, but Barbie Jr., there's not enough money for her to go to college. And of course, she could take loans, but she was really disappointed that like the family had money for Nicki to go to college, and then when it came to her, there wasn't money. And I think she's kind of dejected about the whole thing. So she's gonna meet up with her friend here. Like she called her friend. This is her friend from high school. I mean, they just graduated, so that's fine. But they are going to the pool, which again, Barbie Jr. did not get to do these things growing up. But they're gonna meet up at the pool and talk. Like her friend was like, "Hey, let's just hang out and talk and tell me a little bit about your situation." And so Barbie's telling her about like, you know, all of this. These Sims don't listen, but Barbie already is telling her about all these problems in her family and how she like really has like big dreams and she wants to be really wealthy and have like just access to a lot more than what she had growing up, and she thought college or university would be like her ticket to that, and now she feels like it's either delayed or she has to go into debt, and she really doesn't want to go into debt because she's kind of traumatized by the debt with her family. So her friend is kind of like, look, you're smart. I know you figure it out. If you're looking for a better job, I know you've been working that retail job, which you've been doing great at. But like my uncle works for this company, this coffee company, and they're looking for, like, he's looking for some help around the office. And, you know, like he'll hook you up. I can just tell him about it, and I think that could really be helpful to you. And Barbie Jr. is kind of surprised because she's like, hey, you know, like I haven't gone to college, and do you think he'll want this role? Like she's very deep in thought about this process and like whether like this is gonna work for her. And like her friend is just like super encouraging. Her friend is like, look, you know, you can start this, like it's very entry level, so they normally do want a university degree, but like since he's my uncle, they're not going to do this background check or any of that type of stuff. Like they're just going to let you start, and then like, you know, you get a little bit of money from that, and you can get your apartment in San Moschino. You can really start a whole new life. And Barbie Jr. is like, yeah, I can even change my name. And her friend is like, wait, what? Why do you want to change your name? And Barbie Jr. is like, I just feel like I'm not really a junior. I don't feel that connection to my mom. So I'm I'm gonna change my name when I'm out on my own. I'm gonna, switch it up. I think I'm thinking about Chloe. I feel like it fits me. It's short. It's to the point. Like I'm thinking about changing my name. And her friend is like, you know what? That's awesome. Post high school, start a new life. I'm all about that. And I think it's gonna be great for you. Like you can figure out everything else. You can decide if you want to go to university after like working at this place. You do go to university part-time, or you could just say like maybe you won't need university. You already got your foot in the door. Like we'll see what's next for you. And Barbie Jr., now known as Chloe, is just very happy with all of this, and they're having a great time, and they're so thankful for each other and their friendship, especially Chloe. And that pretty much is it for for this series. We are wrapping things up here. Chloe is in a much better mood. She's gonna go shopping and get some new clothes with the money that her friend is actually giving her some money to help her out. Her friend comes from a little more money, so it's not as big of a deal. And yeah, she's ready to formally put in the application. She's already spoken to the uncle, but you have to do like the full application. And so now she is assistant to the manager, and she is gonna start soon. I think we'll have her get a couple checks and then she'll move out on her own. But the next episode will be about Chloe and her new life. So thank you all for watching. I'm Optimistic, like optimistic, but make it Sims. Talk to you later, some friends. Bye.